Boy, it's your last chance for last looks tonight. Oh, I need you by real. Do you like my little ears?
Yeah.
I think this is the cutest hat in all the world. Hello there, and welcome back to Mr. Larry's Craft Show. It is fall or autumn, whatever you call it. The changing seasons are a wonderful excuse to swap up your decor a bit. Autumn is all about getting cozy. One of the coziest things that we can do right now is to make sure that our domicile is catered to our very specific taste and interest and sense of style. Usually right around this time of year, I have fully digivolved into autumnal Larry. Typically you can find me in a pile of leaves, maybe reading a book or having a cup of tea and just generally enjoying the weather. One of my favorite pastimes in fall is sewing. I had this idea to make this extravagant, lush, romantic coat out of some fabric that I found at a thrift store. And I could not be more pleased with the results. I took a couple of days and just a lot of patience and some trial and error, and I tried to make something that would feel special. So now I can wear my special coat as I go out for an autumn walk and do other autumn things. In my last sewing video, I basically showed you all how to set up your machine and sew a straight line. The skill sets that you need for today are exactly the same. In fact, we're only sewing 3 straight lines for the whole project. You can very easily adapt your surroundings to suit your creative style. We'll be doing that by making a very easy to sew pillow sham. No zippers, no buttons, no anything extra, just our fabric, a sewing machine, and a pillow form. And this pillow sham is a really convenient and easy way to make something that's specific to your taste and to help you change up your scenery a little bit as the seasons change. So before we get into our project today, I'm going to share with you 3 things that will give us a little bit more information into our sewing journey and our home decor experience. Starting with thing number 1. If we look back to circa 7000 BCE, we would find evidence of pillow usage in the wall paintings and murals of ancient Mesopotamia. Comfort equated to wealth at this time, and so costly dyes and fabrics essentially made this level of comfort only accessible to the most wealthy and stylish. Ancient Egyptians used pillow-like structures made of wood or stone to help raise their heads, and most famously the heads of entombed mummies. Today, decorators and home dwellers of all manner are experimenting with making their spaces cozy and cute by using home decor, and oftentimes we turn to decorative cushions and pillows. That brings us to thing number 2. I love decorating. I love decorating. I know that a lot of us get intimidated by the term interior design, but really all I'm talking about is catering your space to suit your specific needs. A lot of times I find myself just rearranging the things I already have, and now you guys know I have a lot of stuff. I love home decor, I love tchotchkes and figurines and little keepsakes of all kinds, and I purposefully make a lot of space for them so that it feels curated without feeling overly crowded. And one of the best ways to keep yourself from crowding your space is to simply swap things out throughout the year. I like to try and figure out what it is that someone would want to express and then give them the tools to do that. Sometimes those tools are color combination or textures for fabrics or furniture. Sometimes that tool is a piece of artwork that's specifically made to suit your needs. And if you're the crafting kind, it's even easier to do that. Cater your space to suit your needs, and it's okay to experiment until it works. You can avoid clutter by rotating decorative items as often as you like, and remember that you're special, and so the objects you surround yourself with should be also. So what are we talking about here? You got some pillows, you got some tchotchkes, maybe you got a couch you want to move around, some paintings or whatever, you know, you got some figurines and maybe a plant or something like that. If you want me to come decorate your house. And that brings us to thing number 3. Our decorative pillow sham project today is very simple to sew, and you only need 3 pieces of fabric, your sewing machine, and a pillow form. I'll be using a 16-inch by 16-inch square pillow form, and I'll cut the pillow sham to the same dimensions. The back pieces for your pillowcase need to be the same width and then half the height plus 2.5 inches. My two back pieces will be 10.5 inches tall by 16 inches wide, and my front piece will be 16 inches square. This will ensure that the pillow fits snugly in the form and looks really nice and full. Why don't we try putting it all together? This project is a great way to make use of all those fabric scraps you have. Perhaps you could even make something festive for the impending holiday. I'll be using the red floral fabric from my coat project. It has a nice weight and it feels like fall to me. I'll start by cutting the front piece to 16 by 16 inches square. I've selected a basic black cotton fabric for the back and cut the two pieces to 16 inches wide by 10.5 inches tall. Keep your iron handy. Pressing throughout this project can really enhance your sewing. It's good to make sure that all your fabric is nice and flat before you begin sewing. We start by turning down 1/4 inch or 6.4 millimeters of the width of our back piece, starting from the edge. Press and repeat. This gives us a neat enclosed hem. Once this is completed for both the back panels, we begin making our stitches. The first 2 stitches are really easy. You just stitch down this hem that we've just pressed for both back panels. As a rule of thumb, I backstitch the first couple of stitches just to give it a little added security while I'm handling the fabric. With your front fabric facing up, layer your 2 back panels face down so that they overlap with our sewn hems facing the center. I prefer to place the top piece first, then the bottom, so that the top of the flap overlaps the bottom of it. Pin this in place using as many pins as needed to make you feel confident. And then we'll sew one single line all the way around using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Make sure to clip the corners of your piece without cutting any of the stitches, just to assist in the turnout process. If you're gentle, you can use a knitting needle to help you turn your corners all the way out. Once your sham is fully inverted, give it one final press. I usually like to use starch at this point, just to give it a nice crisp finish. We'll insert our pillow form, and then we're done. Thank you so much for joining me on this little sewing journey, and I guess that bird liked it. I hope that you have found something you can run with. Those 3 straight lines could really become anything as long as you spend the time and make the effort to try something new. I mentioned this before, but almost everything I know I've learned either on the fly or through a couple of books. Those have information apparently, or mostly through YouTube and other tutorials like these. I'd love to see what you've been sewing or making and what ideas you might have for our next video, which I anticipate will get progressively more festive as we get closer to our next big holiday. I hope y'all don't mind. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing yet, but I bet it's gonna be cool. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.